Week 7, we're going up to Buffalo, where for fun, they put each other through tables. Go figure. What is up, Fin fans? This is Week 7 preview of the Dolphins heading up to Buffalo to take on the Bills. I got a lot to talk about. A lot of notes. A lot of notes to talk about. So let's just not, waste time by me stuttering and not putting out the words I want to say. Real quick, Denver Broncos getting their butts creamed. I'm filming this Thursday night, 30-6 right now, 2 minutes left. Patrick Mahomes gets injured. Matt Moore comes in, 10 for 19, 117 yards, and a touchdown. A beautiful touchdown to Tyreek Hill. Look at Matt Moore doing his thing. Just want to throw that in there real quick. Now let's talk about the good stuff. Let's talk about the Dolphins versus Bills. Like I usually do, we're going to go injury report. I got a big chunk of facts and information I want to give you guys. Then I got my 5 things the Dolphins need to do. Comment of the day. Got a little surprise at the end. It's more of just an announcement. I've added something to the DouglieDoWrong brand. I'm going to talk about merch. But that'll be after comment of the day. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about the injury report. Like usual, I'm going to pop it up, cover me up so you can see it. Doesn't, got to squint at it. So let's pop this sucker up. So right now you can see we got Jesse Davis, Jakeem Grant, Charles Harris, Trent Harris, Xavier Howard, Rashad Jones, Daniel Kilgore, Chris Lamones, Bobby McCain, Avery Moss, Josh Rosen, Mark Walton, and Albert Wilson on the injury report. As of me recording this Thursday night, the only ones who you should really worry about is Rashad Jones, Kilgore, and Avery Moss. They did not practice Thursday. Everyone else was kind of limited. Full practice with Josh Rosen, full practice with Charles Harris. You don't really got to worry about those guys because I don't see them getting much playing time. But it does seem like Daniel Kilgore is not going to be playing. That could be a big thing to look at because without him playing center, he's probably the best offensive lineman we got right now. Second was Jesse Davis. Jesse Davis had an absolutely horrific game last week, again going against Carrington. Was just getting manhandled. But this is the way I see it now, right? We have Webb playing left tackle. We have Jesse Davis playing right tackle. Dieter is going to stay at left guard. I think they're going to take Bohm. I think that's how you say his name. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I pronounce everyone's name wrong. You know who I'm talking about. Move him to center because he can play center. And I think Calhoun is going to come in and play right guard. Will that help the offensive line? I don't know. But that's what I see happening because I don't think that Kilgore is going to be playing. I don't even know if Rashad Jones is going to be playing at this point. Both of them are banged up, so we'll see how that pans out. Little news and notes from the week. I know I was talking to you guys about a lot of things, and a lot of things in my pick video I said I'd talk about today, so let's jump into it. Kimdichie and Tankersley practiced Wednesday. They've been practicing. Maybe they can get, slowly brought into the churn, slowly brought in, start to play. I'd like to see Tankersley play more. I'd like to see Tankersley play this season, and I'd like to see him thrive and do great. Because then all of a sudden, if he can lock down that second corner spot, then it's not such a need. Whereas for me, and in my mentality has always been this, the trenches is more important. If you have a great defensive line that gets pressure, gets sacked, makes the quarterbacks hurry up and take on double blocks, the rest of the defense can play really great behind it. So you got Kimdichie and Tankersley. They started the season on the physically unable to perform list. You're on there for 6 weeks, then you can play. So after this week, they can play because it'll be the 6th game that the team has played. Then they can play. If you are wondering, short-term IR, which Ginkle and some of the other guys, I think Davenport's on there. There's some other guys that are on the short-term IR. That's 8 weeks. So we got about 2 more weeks until they can come back, and we'll see how they do. I'm really interested in seeing Ginkle and what Ginkle can do potentially as a pass rusher because we got some gems that are starting to pop up on our team that are actually getting a lot of pressure and doing really well. So there's that. Then let's talk about real quick Kenyan Drake. So there was Barry Jackson came out. A lot of people came out and said that the Dolphins are not interested, but they're listening to people that are want to potentially trade for Kenyan Drake. A lot of people that are interested in bringing him along. There's some teams that are looking at him. There's some names out there, teams out there that you could see an interest. I said the Rams. I think that was Tuesday when Jalen Ramsey got traded. There's some other teams out there that could use that 1-2 punch with him on their team, so don't be surprised with that. Now, I initially, and I still feel like I would have liked to keep him. I'd have liked to keep Kenyan Drake. I understand he has his faults. Again, Tiki Barber fumbled how many times until he learned high and tight. And yeah, he's kind of messing up in critical points, but he's so dynamic. He constantly makes that first person miss. He constantly produces that I would like to keep him around. I know a lot of you guys don't. I'm expecting comments below. He sucks. I can't wait to see him go. The Dolphins have actually sat down with him and his team and tried to get him to sign an extension. It'd probably be a cheap extension because the Dolphins right now are not looking to pay a running back. They probably won't look to pay any running backs at all because that's just the type of offense they'll run, and it's just running backs aren't a hot commodity for this team. So they tried to sit down, they tried to re-sign him. It went nowhere, and that's where all of a sudden you hear that the Dolphins are listening because you might as well get something for him. And then I know I can already feel it happening in the comment section. You guys are going to say, well, if he's going to be a free agent next year, what's the point of trading for him? You trade for him to get the rights of him, which sounds horrible, but you get the rights of him before he hits free agency. So you trade for him, then you sign him to that contract extension. Instead of trying to get into a bidding war and inflate his contract, you trade for him, give us like a fifth, and then you re-sign him to that contract versus having him be out there and visit different teams, and then you have to outbid. That's why. Now, let's talk about the thing you guys really wanted to talk about, and I teased it in Tuesday's video. Josh Rosen has been benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic, Fitztragic, however you want to say it. Now, a lot of you guys are saying, why would you do this? This is stupid. You said he was the starter for the whole season. I honestly, if you can find the video and you can pinpoint when it happened, by all means, but I honestly can't remember when Flores said he's the starter for the rest of the season. I just remember him being named the starter for the Redskins game and being named the starter for the Chargers game. I don't specifically remember him saying he's the starter for the rest of the season. He's our guy, period. Because I do remember some of his press conferences saying, it's every team has to compete, every position has to compete, it's up in the air. And then he says he's the starter for now. And then he says he's starting next week, and all of a sudden they change his mind, which again pisses a lot of people off. Why did you say he's the starter? And then he changed his mind because he said it, I think, Monday, and then you sit down, you watch the film, you watch how he played, you watch all that stuff, and you're like, look, he's about to go against the Buffalo Bills with with Kilgore injured, with that pass rush, with that defense. He's going to get murdered, and he's not great at picking up blitzes. Now, I said this in one of my tweets, I think I said this in one of my tweets, and one of you guys said, well, that's the center's thing. The center can't see everything. If you ever notice, the quarterback will go up to his center and his guys and point, shifting the protection, moving them, telling them, well, the blitz is coming from over here or the blitz is coming from over here. He's the mic. That's what you got to do as the quarterback. You got to help your offensive line pinpoint where the pressure is coming from and where to shift the protection. Josh Rosen's not great at that, and you saw it against the Redskins. He was struggling. He was getting sacked. And all of a sudden, Fitzpatrick came in. All of a sudden, he started scoring. He started moving the ball down the field. He started doing his thing. You could see that Rosen was getting in his head. His throws were late. He threw a pass to Gesicki. It was late. It was almost intercepted. Fitzpatrick comes out, throws the same exact pass. It's caught. Again, these are the things that he struggled with in training camp and in the preseason with late timing and all that stuff. So the Dolphins looked at film and they probably were like, we don't want this kid to get killed. We're going to put Fitz in. Fitz gives us the best option right now to win, which kind of contradicts what people want to think with what the Dolphins are doing. So that kind of intermingles of, I wrote down why. But let's talk about confidence, because I know a lot of you guys were like, it's going to kill his confidence. It's going to this and that, blah, blah, blah. The NFL stands for not for long. We all know it. It's coaches, players, everyone. If you don't have the tough skin, if you don't have the fight in you, if you don't have the heart to be like, I got benched. All right, cool. Now I'm going to train my butt off. Now I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to make you guys regret that. And next time you put me in, I'm going to throw 6 touchdowns, and we're going to win the game. If you don't have that fight in you, and if you don't have that in you, you shouldn't be in the NFL. Look at Jonathan Martin. He didn't have that fight. He didn't like the mentality of football, and it crushed him. So when I hear people say, well, this is going to kill his confidence, if this kills his confidence, then I don't want him as my quarterback. I'm sorry. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, and I'm not saying, but if this kills his confidence and he crumbles and he's like, well, they don't want me and screw this team and da-da-da, you don't have the toughness to be my starting quarterback. I'm sorry. So as of right now, Josh Rosen is benched. Fitz is in. I honestly don't see Fitz playing the whole season out. There's still a lot of games left. There's 10 games left for the Dolphins. I don't see Fitz playing though. I honestly see Rosen coming back in. It's just a choice that needed to be made right now because Rosen is struggling. And again, people are going to say, well, he's struggling behind a crap offensive line. He's struggling behind receivers that aren't catching the ball. He's struggling behind. Fitz came in and he did better with the same team. Rosen's struggling right now. Sit him down. Get yourself together. And if you practice better, if you do better, you'll come back in. That's the way I see it. I want to win. Put Fitz in. That's our best option at winning. So let's talk about the Bills. Let's talk about the Bills. We're going up to Buffalo. The Bills aren't a team to scoff at. But in the same vein of me saying that, because the Bills are 4-1 right now, right? I'm going to break down some stats about their offense and defensive rankings. Again, they're a pretty good team. But you look at the teams they beat in. Jets, Giants, Bengals, Titans. The Jets game, they had 4 turnovers and they won, which is kind of feeding into my point. That's something you should look at. Again, I think that has to do with their defense. Their offense kind of struggled. Giants suck. Bengals still winless. Patriots, they lost to. Titans sucked with Mariota. So it's like they're good, but they need to start, again, it's the schedule. You can't fault them for the schedule they were handed, but they didn't beat anyone that great. That's all I'm going to say. But let's look at their ranking. Defense, their passing is 3rd ranked in yards, 2nd ranked in touchdowns. So their pass defense is really great. And their rushing, 7th ranked in yards, 11th in touchdowns. Their defense is really good. That's the thing that's winning in these games, and that's the thing that kept them in against the Patriots. They gave Tom Brady a hard time, that defense. The offense, on the other hand, passing, not great. Josh Allen kind of struggling. 19th ranked in yards, 28th ranked in touchdowns, but their rushing offense, 6th ranked in yards, 11th ranked in touchdowns. Their rushing is dangerous. So let's jump into this. Let's talk about the 5 things the Miami Dolphins need to do to beat the Buffalo Bills. Ain't going to be easy, but this is the things they need to do to beat the Bills. And again, no specific order. It's just how I wrote it down. Number 1, no mistakes. No mistakes. We should have beat the Redskins. It is what it is. We beat ourselves. A lot of Redskins fans even commented on my post video saying, as the Redskins fans, you guys beat yourself. We didn't beat you. We beat ourselves. Too many stupid mistakes. The 2-point conversion, again, I didn't hate it, but it was just poor blocking. Regardless if it was, first you dropped the ball, and then other than that, Drake was going to throw it. It's a forward pass, so he wasn't going to throw it. You got to block. Got to block. No mistakes. Penalties. Interceptions. 2 interceptions by Josh Rosen. Can't have that. We can't have Fitz going out there throwing picks here and there because this defense will make you pay for it. Pick sixes. All that stuff. So no mistakes. Play a clean game and you will give yourself a chance to beat the Bills. Number 2, we got to contain Josh Allen. Last season, when we played Josh Allen, he ran all over us because we ran a wide 9, which absolutely sucked. And try to get him in this wide 9. Just open up the field for him, and he just ran all over us. We got to contain Josh Allen. He's very dynamic with his legs. He can make something out of nothing. Got to contain the man. And I'm interested. This is the one thing I'm interested to see what Flores can pull together, because against the Redskins, there was a lot of roaming defenses. And essentially, there was one guy who had his hand down, and everyone else was kind of just roaming, walking back and forth. You didn't know who the pass rush was going to come at. And in one of those plays, Case Keenum threw the pass too early, and it was incomplete. So I'm really interested to see what Flores is going to do to contain Josh Allen. Number 3, Frank Gore is going to be a madman. I'm predicting he's going to run all over this defense, but we got to stop the run. If we can stop the run, we can get in there, we can contain Frank Gore. Freakon McMillan can keep doing his thing and containing him, which is going to be very hard. Even though Brian Flores did it back in his Boston College days against Miami, he laid the wood on them. We got to stop the run. We got to make them a one-dimensional offense. Like I said, they're 19th ranked in pass yards, 28th ranked in passing touchdowns. Limit them to passing, and potentially we could do something, especially with Xavier Howard coming back. Potentially we could do something there. Number 4, if we got to stop the run, we got to run the ball. Mark Walton was doing great. Kenyan Drake was doing great, except for that one drop pass and the 2-point conversion. Let's get Cox back out there. I don't know why he was inactive last week. We got to run the ball. Run the ball, help out our defense, let our defense stay, rested. If we run the ball, then they can't just pin their ears back and rush after Fitzpatrick. Change it up. Make sure the defense doesn't just go after Fitzpatrick. Especially later in the game, if we're down by a lot of points, it's just all of a sudden your offensive scheme goes out the window and the defense just takes over. So we got to run the ball. And my last and final thing, if we want to beat the Bills, you got to force some turnovers. It's been a hot minute since we've really forced any turnovers and had points off of those turnovers. We have to force turnovers. We got to get the ball, especially you got to give our offense as many chances as they can. Not even that. You force a turnover, you score. Get some pick sixes, because right now our defense is better than our offense. It is what it is. That might change with Fitz on the field. That might change with that veteran leadership on the field. But as of right now, our defense is the best part of our team, which isn't saying much. So we need to force turnovers and hopefully get some pick sixes, scoop and scores, all that stuff. So those are the 5 things the Miami Dolphins need to do if they want to beat the Buffalo Bills. Now, me as a Dolphin fan, I don't hate the Bills. If it ranked from AFC East teams that I hate, it's Patriots 1, Jets 2, Bills 3. I know for the older generation of guys, again, I'm 32, so for like the 40s and ups, guys that watched the Dolphins versus Bills during the 90s when that was a really heated battle of the AFC East, you guys probably hate the Bills way more than me, because Bruce Smith and all those guys, Jim Kelly, was just a ridiculous team to have to deal with. Me, I don't hate the Bills as much. I do hate the Bills, don't get me wrong. I can't stand the Bills. But not as much as the Jets and the Patriots. So, again, I want to win this game. I want to win every game. I'm going to root for my team to win. I really hope that they win. But if you want the realistic, take my Dolphin heart out, put it on the shelf real quick, and here's just an NFL fan, NFL and analyst give you my opinion. I don't see the Dolphins beating the Bills. I think that their defense is just too good. You got to see how they're doing, how they're getting these interceptions, how they're getting points off these interceptions, the things that they're doing. Again, like I said, they haven't beaten anyone great, but still it doesn't take away from how good their defense is playing. I don't expect to win. I do not expect to win this game. I expected to beat the Redskins. We should have beat the Redskins. There's some games that I do expect to win. This isn't one of them. Do I want to win? 100%. Do I hope we win? 100%. Do I expect it? No. Rather be surprised than let down. So that's, if you want to score, I'd say 24-13. I say the Bills win. If you want my score prediction. Do I want that to happen again? No. But that's just me being a realist and me taking my bias out. That's just the way I see it. But put my bias back in, Dolphins are going to win this one 17-13. How about that? So be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Bills fans, I know you guys are watching this. Comment below. You can call me whatever you want. Let me know what you guys think. And let me get to one of you guys' comments of the day. And this comment of the day, it's a roundabout thing, because a lot of you guys brought this up, and I didn't even know this. This happened earlier in the week. Brock Osweiler retired. And a lot of you guys were telling me, hey, Brock Osweiler retired. Brock Osweiler retired. And I just want to address it in comment of the day, because a lot of you guys have been asking me on Twitter and even here that Brock Osweiler retired. This man retired. I got the stats over here on my computer screen. Earning $41 million, Brock Osweiler. Never started a full season. He has a 15-15 career record as a starter. 37 touchdowns, 31 interceptions. He won a Super Bowl as a backup with Denver. And he retires at the age of 30. He's 2 years younger than me. Retires making $41 million. Brock Osweiler officially retires in October. It's just, it's funny how last year he came in and just completely we won against the Bears, and all of a sudden it became Brocktober, which again, Adam Gase made the game plan around it where he barely did anything, everyone else did everything. But I just find it funny that the man retires in Brocktober. So this is comment of the day because a lot of you guys were telling me about it, and I just think it's quite hilarious. Second thing I want to talk about, I'm going live Sunday to talk about the Bills game. I'm going to go live stream my reaction to the game, so be sure to come hang out. Normal time, around 12:45, I'll start live streaming. Hopefully DirecTV isn't being stupid and NFL Ticket works, because I hate being behind by a game and a half, play and a half. It sucks. Also, I started a Patreon. I have a Patreon below. I'm going to start doing things. Don't feel like you need to donate to the Patreon. Don't feel like you need to go and do what you have to do with the Patreon. But I got a Patreon. I started it in the description below. But I'm going to start doing things special for the guys who are part of the Patreon. Maybe, you'll get first dibs at comment of the day, or maybe I'll do a special video for the Patreon people, or, at the end of the video, I'll pop your names up randomly, the guys who are, part of the Patreon and all that stuff. So Patreon's below. I'm going to set up all that stuff. So if you want to, be my guest, and I'll tell you what you will get if you're part of the Patreon. But other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Tweeting out a ton of things, have great conversations over there. Don't feel like you need to make a Twitter to follow me. If you don't have one and you hate Twitter, that's all fine and dandy. But if you do have one, be sure to go check me out. Follow me on Twitter. Also, I have Instagram. Again, I'm busy, guys. I'm busy. Also, the Bit Boys have an Instagram. Go over there, check them out. Also, be sure to check out the Bit Boys. You're like, who the heck are the Bit Boys? That's my second channel. It's my gaming channel. We're doing a lot of Halloween stuff. Put about 3 videos out this week. Most Sphere got pushed back because EA sucks, so that video is going to wait a little bit, but be sure to go over, check out the Bit Boys. Give this video a thumbs up, fellas. Give this video a thumbs up because you feel it. You feel like we're going to pull this one off. We're going to shock the world. We're going to go up to Buffalo and beat them. Give this video a thumbs up for that. I gave you guys a prediction unbiased that the Dolphins were going to lose to the Bills, but I, in my heart, really want this to be the game we win. I want to beat the Bills, and I want to beat the Jets. I love for that to be our 2 wins. So we get 3 wins on the year, and we split with the division. I would love it. It's our first divisional game. Give a video a thumbs up for that, also because you like the content. Be sure to check out DolphinsTalk.com and Sportscaster. 2 great sites that I'm a part of. Be sure to go over, check them both out. Other than that, thinking of live streaming Saturday for a little bit, Saturday morning, probably a half hour, 45 minutes. I'll keep you guys updated on that. I will definitely be live for the game, so that'll be super fun. Come hang out. We're going to watch the game together. Hopefully we pull off a win, shock the world against the Bills. But other than that, I'll see you guys either Saturday. Again, I'll let you guys know. But definitely Sunday. Like usual, stay classy. Fins up.